Welcome to daily market analysis of Nifty, Bank Nifty and the top stocks. Starting things off with Nifty's daily chart, हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि it's pretty much an open equals to low kind of day for today. We can see 387 was the open and 386 was the low. So really not that much between it. And the high for the day was 532 with the close being 519. So उधर भी उतना उतना distance नहीं है. हम लोग थोड़े दिन पहले actually we were discussing how momentum appears to be lacking not just in Nifty but also in a few stocks. Well, today that momentum has come back very clearly, and we are seeing Nifty back up around 140 points का gain किया है आज के दिन में, which is just under 1%, but it's still pretty significant when we talk about the absolute points, especially when we consider कि पिछले थोड़े दिन का movement ही उतना नहीं है. The displacement that it's made, okay, we can see 89 points on this day, 157 points on that day, and then 54, 15, 8 पॉइंट 13 पॉइंट 15 पॉइंट 24 पॉइंट और उसके बाद फिर से 139 पॉइंट. सो by that logic, today was a pretty big day. And again, if I show you the intraday chart, it's just going to be like this line, right? There were a few very sharp dips, a couple of sharp dips, but they were all filled into thanks to the buyers that were fairly strong today. Now coming into an interesting aspect of the markets. Okay, so if I just show you this, ये contribution है top stocks का. So top stocks of Nifty, okay, these were the top pullers and these were the top draggers. We can see the same information here as well. Okay, अभी हम लोग इसमें क्या देख सकते हैं कि these were the net contribution. So Infosys ऊपर गया तो उसको 20 पॉइंट contribute किया निफ्टी ने, और नेस्ले नीचे गया उसने 2 पॉइंट contribute किया. Now, if we actually do a sum total of all this and subtract the down ones from the up ones, we get around a 61 point ka rally, sort of movement by the top stocks. And if we actually look at the EOD figure, it's 139. तो हम लोग इससे क्या देख सकते हैं कि इट वॉजन जस्ट द टॉप स्टॉक्स दैट वर एक्चुअली पुलिंग निफ्टी अप, बट थोड़ा ब्रॉडर बेस था. और अगर हम लोग ब्रॉड मार्केट भी देखते हैं ना, let's say we look at these sectoral indices, we can see quite a few. Pretty much all of them were positive, which is a very interesting sign, very good sign. If I show you the broad market indices, we can see everything is positive. In fact, including VIX is also positive. यहाँ पे हम लोग देख सकते हैं जो टॉप ओवरऑल स्टॉक्स थे, राइट, मेन बोर्ड वॉल्यूम के हिसाब से आइडिया वाज अप 4%. इट्स प्रिटी मच डबल हो गया है थोड़े ही टाइम में. जी लिमिटेड इज डाउन, टाटा पावर इज अप, एनटीपीसी इज अप. So quite a few interesting important stocks here on this list, and we can definitely make some more sense of that by looking at the charts. Now coming to Bank Nifty. ठीक है, निफ्टी का तो बता दिया. बाय द वे, अब निफ्टी में सपोर्ट्स और रेजिस्टेंसेस कौन से रह सकते हैं? You might have figured by now, possibly this level would be an important support which happens to be around 440. So in general 500 का जो साइकोलॉजिकल बैरियर है वो तोड़ दिया है. उसके नीचे पहले क्या था हम लोग को? वी डिस्कस्ड हाउ 420, actually 380 to 420 was a level. So naturally वो resistance तोड़ता है, then that becomes a very important support. So that's around 100-ish points away from where it's currently at. And obviously आज के जो intraday में जो भी dips और सब रहे होंगे, if I just show you the intraday chart, we're seeing very jaggedy sort of movement. So ये सब भी काफ़ी important रहेंगे मेरे हिसाब से. So let's see how that goes. Now coming to Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty भी काफ़ी अच्छा कैंडल दिखा रहा है. It's actually very similar to this candle and on 8th September. Up to 99 points on that day. Up to 39 points on this day. And that's largely because वो दिन पे actually gap up खुला था. आज के दिन पे gap down खुला and then it was able to recover. So even though today's movement has been the highest, I believe since August 30th, so September में सबसे बड़ा कैंडल होगा ये शायद. The actual points that it moved is a little lower because it was a gap down movement, in terms of previous close ka displacement dekhe to. So that's what we're looking at now. Interestingly, it's right at this zone, right? We've spoken about this level quite a few times, 36,800 के बारे में. And now that is the level that it actually faces. So यहाँ पे हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि थोड़ा selling already यहाँ पे आ गया था, and the high that it made was 949. So just under 37,000 psych, it started to sort of crack down on Bank Nifty. And the reason for this will be better explained by the top stocks. So we'll look at it in a bit. Top stocks मतलब एच डी एफ सी बैंक ऑफ कोर्स, बट पहले हम लोग रिलायंस देख लेते हैं। रिलायंस वी कैन सी इट्स प्रिटी आइडेंटिकल टू येस्टरडेज कैंडल, कार्बन कॉपी जैसा ही है, except yesterday was a bearish candle, today is a bullish candle, which means that as of now this level 2369 का जो previous ATH है that has been held, which is a good sign. So let's see if it's actually able to hold at these levels, क्योंकि यहाँ पे ही selling हो रहा है. If it's able to hold there, then well and good. Possibly best case scenario would be if it's able to sustain about 2400, फिर possibly ये levels 2410 2415 के आसपास थोड़ा सा selling देख सकते हैं हम. And obviously, right around this doji and right around this high, we saw a bunch of selling happening. That is what was able to drive Reliance down around 55 points. So ये भी काफ़ी important level रहेगा for buyers to hold on to. Next up is HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank नीचे है आज. If you look at the candle and if you look at like the overall displacement that we're seeing, negative है. But if we actually see open or close का जो relation है, that is positive. So it was once again an open equals to low situation. गैप डाउन खुला, ऊपर आया, काफ़ी ऊपर आया था, बट थोड़ा सा फिर वापस नीचे आ गया. इनफैक्ट आई 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 फील कि अगर ये ओपन इक्वल्स टू लो और क्लोज इक्वल्स टू हाई जैसा कर पाता, विच मीन्स इफ इट वाज एबल टू क्लोज अबाउट 1550 1560, then I believe there was a very good chance that we would see Bank Nifty above 37,000 and Nifty still deeper into the 500 level. So I think HDFC Bank has been one of the key draggers for Bank Nifty. Draggers नहीं बोल सकते, basically the one sort of hurdle that prevented it from going till 37,000 today. Obviously अगर ये recover करता है 1530 के आसपास से, then naturally it has a very good shot with the first resistance coming in at around 1560 or so. So पहले जो 1550 1560 का support था, अभी obviously वो resistance बन गया. हम लोग high के हिसाब से भी देख सकते हैं selling आ गया था उधर. Next up is Infosys. Infosys right from this level as we discussed थोड़ा सा bowl जैसा trough जैसा bottom जैसा बना है and it's bouncing up. 1700 hold कर पाया है, which is a good sign. This gap has also been cleared. Now it's heading into this level. यहाँ पे जो congestion जैसा हुआ था, यहाँ पे जो एकदम fast गिरा था, so those levels might be important to see now. Next up is HDFC. HDFC हम लोग देख सकते हैं 2800 के ऊपर ही है, and this level we I'm pretty sure we discussed this as well. राइट, वही लेवल पे आके अटक गया है. Lows 2795, which means 2800 retest was also done. So that's where we're seeing HDFC sort of standing at. In fact, now that I look at it, I'll just do it using this drawing tool because it's easier. I believe there's like a horizontal sort of, not a horizontal, but a parallel channel at play here. So possibly ये channel के अंदर bullish है, possibly थोड़ा accurate बना सकते हो अगर आप लोग को chart use करके करना है तो, but that is definitely happening. So if that's the case, then naturally somewhere around this area should also be the lower end of the channel. So that is where we might see some support happening. Next up is ICICI Bank. We can see it's like a bullish engulfing candle here. एंड जो 715 के लेवल पे है उसको अप्रोच कर रहा है. एज ऑफ नाउ दिस क्लस्टर दैट वी सॉ हियर, कंजेशन जोन, दैट हैज़ बिन अ सपोर्ट फॉर नाउ, सो दैट्स गुड टू सी. बट अगेन 715 720, बिकॉज दे वर ब्रोकन ऑन द डाउन साइड, शायद वो थोड़ा रेजिस्टेंस दे सकते हैं. Next up is Kotak Bank. Kotak Bank had good potential today, but it closed EOD on an indecisive note. Obviously, अगर Kotak Bank भी आज के हाई के आसपास क्लोज हो पाता, 1880 के आसपास भी क्लोज होता, then I do feel that Bank Nifty would have been much closer to 37,000. But this close is also fine. 1870 is pretty good. In fact, अगर हम लोग देखें, then this is the highest close since at least 15th March. मतलब एग्जैक्टली 3 महीने हो गए, 6 महीने हो गए हैं कोटक को ये लेवल पे क्लोज करके, विच इज़ अ प्रीटी बुलिश साइन, राइट? इट्स प्रीटी गुड साइन. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी आर सीइंग. नाउ इन टर्म्स ऑफ सपोर्ट्स, ये जो गैप है वो मैं देखूंगा, और बिकॉज ये स्पिनिंग टॉप डोजी टाइप का कैंडल है, आई थिंक इट डज शो इनडिसाइसिवनेस, बट देन अगेन जनरल सेंटिमेंट थोड़ा सा इनडिसाइसिवनेस में था, सो देखते हो कैसा जाता है. Next up is SBI. By the way, when I say general sentiment, I mean for some of these stocks like HDFC Bank and such private banks ka. बाकी हम लोग अगर पब्लिक बैंक्स देखें, वी कैन सी एसबीआई इज डूइंग वेरी वेल, 2.5% अप, राइट। वो 435 जोन की उधर से ही उसने इट्स गिवन लाइक अ गुड ब्रेकआउट, एंड नाउ इट्स एट 443. The level that we've mentioned before is 440 only, so it is just above that level, which is a good sign. And we can see in general, road seems to be relatively clear, so now this would be an important sort of level to keep our eyes peeled out for. So let's see उधर क्या होता है. Next up is Axis Bank. एक्सिस बैंक में हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि इट्स रिलेटिवली फ्लैट 780 का लेवल अब तक होल्ड कर रहा है नाउ. टॉप स्टॉक्स हम लोग के तो देख लिए हम लोग ने, अभी स्विंग ट्रेड्स का भी क्विक ओवरव्यू देख लेते हैं. वी कैन सी कोल इंडिया इज अप 4%, ओ एन जी सी इज अप 3.6%, दावत इज अप 6.2%, so quite a few good performing stocks from our list. And that's about our list. Abhi, the most important announcement, if you are still listening, if you're still watching, then this is especially important for you. These daily analysis uploads will soon stop, and by soon I mean this is most likely the last daily analysis video I'm putting. Reason being, there's just not enough views, right? If we look at the previous videos, हम लोग देख सकते हैं कि 40-50 views, and these videos just get tanked. So that's the reason. And I will, however, sort of substitute it with a live analysis. So as of now, 2 days in a week, I will go live and I will do that live analysis. I think that would be uh, a better sort of way to go about it. So, yeah, that's about it for this one. See you in the next. I hope you found some value out of this. Happy trading tomorrow.